There are so many different stories that I'd love to tell you guys, but this one is probably one of the most scariest. So I don't live with them now. About 6 years ago, my son and I, we moved back in to my parents' home. This was the home that I grew up in as a child, and it was built in the 1920s. No one ever passed away on the property, in the house, whatever. Nothing crazy ever happened. It's just an older house in really nice area in the suburbs. Yeah, there's not much history about it, really. Growing up, my mom and I always had just like either weird dreams, or we thought that we would see something and, sorry, my cat. We thought that we would see something and it just wasn't there, both separately and together as well. So when I moved back in, I moved into the attic, which was actually converted into a bedroom. It was just a long, narrow room. It's pretty large, but it was narrow and just long. And then at the end of the attic, there's a big closet. It could be like a walk-in closet type of situation, but it doesn't have a door. Yeah, my dad would just put a cloth or, you know, like fabric over it because we just stored a whole bunch of crap back there. One of the reasons why I hated the attic growing up is because it just was kind of dark up there. And also that area, the closet area, was just really weird. Like, it would always give me a weird vibe. I've only been into that area a handful of times. So this is important to know. Like, the way that you would get into the attic is, so you have like the front door. Right at the front door, there's steps going up. So you go up the steps. To the left is a bedroom. I believe at the time it was my sister's room. And then to the right, sorry, left and rights, to the right would be the attic. Now, to get up there, you would have to climb up like 3 really short steps and then kind of like crawl in there or hold on to the sides and step in there. It wasn't a full length door. Yeah, it was just really, it was a weird setup, but the door was small and there was always a draft. And so my dad would put like a latch hook sort of situation at the top, and then on the bottom, he put a deadbolt. So whoever, you know, if one of the kids, we all took turns having the attic as our room at one point. And so in order to keep it closed and stop the draft from coming in, he put a deadbolt on the door. So it's on the bottom of the door, and he drilled a hole into the floor, and you would just secure it pretty much into the floor. So now that that's all out of the way, one night I was sleeping, everyone in the house was sleeping. My dad was at work, and my mom calls me around 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, what the heck? She's right down the hall. Why is she calling me? I pick it up, and she says, hey, is Jeremiah down here? Jeremiah's my son. He was sleeping right next to me. I look over, and he was right next to me. And she says, and I said, no, he's right here. Why? And she said, because it looks like that there's a kid in the hallway, like in my doorway. And I said hi, but they're still standing there. Are you sure Jeremiah's in the room with you? So I'm like, yes, he is here with me. You know, I asked, was it one of my siblings? And she said, no, they were way too short to be, you know, my other siblings, who were they're just a few years younger than me. So they're much taller than what she was describing. So after she confirmed that it was none of my siblings and my son was right there, we were both just pretty freaked out. I didn't go downstairs to check on my mom. I was just like, close your door. I don't know, maybe call dad and see if he can come home from work. But my door was locked, secured. I was like, nothing, don't come up here. So as soon as we say goodnight, she's like, good night. I'm like, good night, love you. See ya in a few hours, because it was already morning. Right as soon as that happened, my door, the door that is bolted, just swung open, and hit the wall behind it. And so it's just like if you just take a door, swing it open, and it hits the wall behind it. It hit the wall so hard. Of course, it caught me off guard, so I just jumped up and I did run over to the door because I was thinking, okay, maybe my mom ran up here and I don't know, she was the Hulk and just pulled on the door really hard. But no, there was no one behind the door at all. No one. Everyone was still sleeping. My mom, she was still awake because we just got off the phone. She heard and she called me back, and I was like, Mom, the door just swung open.